Oh, I got the imp. I got the imp skin for Mercy. Yes. Welcome back, dudes and dudettes. This is APXT Gaming. My name's Jiggy, along with Mark Bro, Vile Dust, Wing Fury, and Cult Classic 45.
Hi.
Yellow.
Hello.
Hey.
And today we're going to talk about that game that you put massive hours into. And not even that the one game, it could be multiple games, but the games that you put a ton of time into. For me, it'll have to be Star Ocean till the end of time. Just because it had so much replayability. And how the fact that every time you actually have different characters in your crew.
For me, it's Monster
Got
Hunter
it.
4 on the 3DS. Probably put in 400 plus hours with that one.
Wow, really?
400 plus?
Whoa.
Dude, what are you even doing for 400 plus hours?
Playing the game.
Mine is StarCraft 2. I probably have like a couple thousand hours in it.
Nice.
That's
Whoa,
one
I am not that hardcore of a gamer then. Couple thousand hours?
I was unemployed and I'd never played that genre before, and I ended up hooking up with a couple pro players and they taught me how to play. And I just got addicted because of how fast I was climbing the ladder. Like, it's all I did 24/7 for like a year.
See, I like games where you can kind of pace yourself. It's sort of a one-player environment. That's why I go with Skyrim. I had a ton of fun just doing the different adventures and this, that, and the other. Plus, I had it on PC, so I could expand it with all different mods, whatever I felt like doing. You could use console codes, and of course, everybody probably heard of like you can transform the dragons into Thomas the Tank Engine and Macho Man Randy Savage and all that stuff. So I poured so many hours into just customizing that and having a great time.
Yeah, I played Skyrim a lot too. I didn't have it for long because I rented it from, at the time, Hollywood Video, RIP.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a name drop right there.
Call back to the Blockbuster days.
But yeah, I played a shit ton of that myself.
I'm trying to think of what single player game I might have put a lot of hours into. There's been a couple.
I would Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. So many hours, so many hours.
Now, was that like you're trying to do increasing difficulty or?
Yeah, crazy difficulty, trying to find everything, trying to unlock everything. Because all I wanted was the headband.
Oh, did that have one of those headband things too?
I
Like
believe
they had
so.
that in the first one where it had the unlimited ammo or something like that.
Yeah, I tried to get. I don't think I ever did. But it was just fun, just try to get to it, you know.
So which games though had the best DLC that expanded your experience on a game?
Mass Effect.
See, I didn't play any of that. I didn't get to the Citadel's the only one that I haven't played.
Okay. But yeah, all the Mass Effect DLC. That too. That game I played a lot of Mass Effect. Because I started off playing 2. That's how I got into it. I played 2. And I'm like, oh my god, it's amazing. I got to get 3. And I played 2, 3, and I'm like, you know what? I got to get 1. So I finally bought 1. And I bought 1, 2, 3. Then I played again 1, 2, 3. I played it a lot.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else where you get into a series that's on like game 2 and you know you should go back and play one, but for some reason, just because you know the options and all that that you're used to aren't going to be the same, it's going to be
Yes.
less developed. Have
Yes.
you not played a prequel? Because to be honest with you, I played 2 for Mass Effect and I've played 3, but I have not played 1. I did download it once, got through about 5 minutes of it, and said, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought Mass Effect might be the exception though, just because it builds off of it. Like your character comes over with you, I believe.
It does.
Yeah,
It
but
does.
I know the lore and I started off on 2, so it was kind of like, what's the point?
At that point, I understand. I understand where you're coming from. It's like because when I played 1, it was so hard. Giggity. It was so hard to actually then go into the second one because, or going to the first one because playing the second one, the gameplay's totally changed. Because the first one's more RPG aspect, like the way, like you actually have like poison bullets and all this other shit, and with 2 is more of a FPS. And then when you go into 3, they made it more into a FPS.
Yeah.
is
Funny
the-
thing is, so Mass Effect's like my favorite game series of all time, right?
I agree.
got
I
it.
concur.
My brother and Steve bought me the Xbox for Christmas when it came out, and
Right.
we got Ace Combat and Mass Effect. And I owned that game for 2 years before I finally went and beat it, because every time like I would get into it, get to the Citadel, spend like 5 or 10 minutes running around the Citadel, get bored, and then put it down. So if there's any developers that ever watch this, don't ever have that lull in the beginning, because it almost made me not ever play Mass Effect, one of the greatest games of all time.
That's why I appreciate what they did in Mass Effect 2, where you can actually download the choices you can make in 1 to affect the gameplay in 2. It was like $5 or something, where you could actually it was a little patch they did where you could just actually do all the major choices, who lives, who dies, what you do, and it'll affect 2, and then you could go on from there.
That was a nice addition.
So instead of you replaying the whole game of 1, then you could just go in, do the choices, play 2.
I appreciated that because it actually changed what I was playing the game on, because I played the first one on Xbox and I played the other 2 on PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so instead of going back into it or getting it again.
Mark, what was your game?
I don't know. I hate video games.
You would.
For single player, I guess my most played game would be Resident Evil 4.
I like watching other people play Resident Evil. I can't play it myself. I get nightmares.
Well, the funny thing is, I say single player, like I beat it by myself, and then I wanted to play the co-op, because I don't know if that was the first one with really good co-op, but it was really good co-op in that one. And I ended up hooking up with this Korean dude that didn't speak English, because it was also while I was unemployed during the StarCraft 2 era. And we beat it on the super hardcore mode. I forget what it's called now. I spent 2 weeks playing that game every day with him. Neither one of us spoke English. We just kept logging in at the.
You spoke English.
I'd have to say my most played game is Smash Bros. For the N64. For about 2 or 3 years, I had a group of friends that would stay after school and were able to play it in one of the rooms, and it never got old.
I honestly can say, and I don't know if it's a symptom or a product of our time now, I don't put the hours into games that I used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's not because of a lack of free time. I don't know if it's because there's more games that come out. Like when I was a kid, I could spend months playing the same game.
It's called adulting. Because it comes to a point, it's like I just lose interest a lot in games. I don't play them like I used to.
Yeah, I'd say it's because there's more games, because I always want to move on to something else. But
Yeah,
I
that's my
also want to
problem.
keep playing. I've
I
got
get through-
hundreds of games, so it's like
Yeah.
can't make time for everything.
For me, it's like I get through the story of a game and I get ready to play through the second time with for whatever reason I have, and then something else comes out, and the urge to play the new game just overwhelms like the desire to replay the game I'm playing.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I remember I did that with the last Star Ocean. Like I played it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a break. I played all these other games 2 years later passed. I'm like, okay, let me go back to Star Ocean. I played it, and all I had to do was do one more fight, and that's it. So it made me regret, like, hey, if I would have just pushed through, I would have just finished this a long time ago versus it's sitting there. And then I could have got max tradability for it, but no.
For me, it depends on the game because I'm pretty selective. So, if I can go back and play some of the old ones that I really enjoyed, like Final Fantasy VI or Ocarina. But I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it just got to the point where I was putting in 50 plus hours to try to get items to make myself better, and it was a single player game, so it was kind of pointless.
Right.
it's one thing if you're being productive in the game, especially a single player one. But if you're doing something over and over, and I could have knocked out another RPG there, another 40, 50 hour RPG just by farming a couple
Right.
items, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just got to the point where it was pointless.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess I don't want to mention it because it's an MMO, but EQ2, I spent, I don't know, 5-6 years playing. We played that every day. I rated hardcore with like 2 different guilds. So that doesn't really count though because it's an MMO, like they're easy to spend time in.
Yeah, and you can still absolutely be productive with those.
All right, everybody. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for joining us. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I can't change your mind. Tell us in the comments below, what was the game you spent massive hours on? Anything. It could be the one game, it could be multiple games. And until then,